Welcome to our series where we discuss key things to consider while selling your technology business. I'm Sid Nair. In my role as National Technology M&A Leader, I explore how we can bring innovative solutions to our clients as they look to navigate the complex world of M&A. One of the often overlooked aspects of a technology transaction is the product and tech diligence associated with a deal. To help us understand what to expect in a tech or a product diligence and how to prepare for it, I've got with me today Annie Sheikh. Annie is a partner in our strategy and transactions business and leads our deal technology practice. All right, Annie, let's get right to it. From a product standpoint, what should a company be thinking about when preparing for a transaction process?
Yeah, so definitely a few things, Sid, and this is going to go across product, architecture, R&D. So some of the thoughts here will kind of be around those areas. But when it comes to product, alignment of the product roadmap, especially from a strategic vision standpoint, is definitely important. But also the alignment of that product roadmap to the buyer's investment thesis, right? Obviously, the buyer's looking to acquire this company for a reason, and does what that product roadmap indicate kind of align with that particular thesis. I say the second thing when it comes to architecture, the solution built to scale. So not only just for the current growth, or short-term growth, I would say, but for the expected longer-term growth and the vision of the organization. And does it fit the size and type of market opportunity, basically? Is that team able to scale? And do they have the right skill sets and the right levels at the different roles to support the current and future vision for the product? We also obviously do benchmarking to see how that particular org benchmarks to other organizations of that same size. So those would be probably the top three areas. And then lastly, I'd say probably documentation, right? Is the target documentation ready? Do they have what the buyer's looking for from an architecture, security, infrastructure, SDLC perspective? The more information that you can provide from a documentation standpoint versus verbally just gives a lot more comfort and confidence to the buyer. I think all of these few things really are important, and they're things that you definitely can prepare for ahead of time.
That is great perspective on the product side, Annie. Which areas do you find companies being the least prepared when buyers are evaluating them from a technology or infrastructure standpoint?
Definitely, there are key themes here, Sid. Having and communicating a clear understanding of technical debt. We mentioned it in the previous question, but a lot of times when we ask this question, the target will skirt around the issue because they don't either want to tell us about the technical debt, they don't know about the technical debt. We actually have targets that didn't understand what technical debt meant. So it's a lot of this: have a clear understanding of technical debt, be able to communicate it to the buyer. I find in these diligence sessions, as much as the target may want to hold back, the best thing is to be transparent. Where we've had targets that have been very, very honest with us, it's actually led to a better diligence experience. Having a solution that is scalable for future growth, and what we mean by that is obviously there's the architectural components, but how thoughtful have you been about the technology components and the tech stack? And did you just throw things together, even though it's scalable maybe, but was there thought put into the architecture, not just for the short term, but for the longer term? Is it a modern architecture? So when you think about scalability, is it going to cause them pains when they want to modernize or integrate with sort of new vision technology? The next thing I would say, which again is on top of mind of everyone probably all the time now, especially security. Making sure the security is buttoned down. And what do we mean by security? Security is obviously really broad, right? So when we talk about software development, training on secure code development. So do you offer that to your developers? Security testing, such as penetration testing or some sort of security audit. Have you done that for the production code, right? Security analysis tools, that will help you detect security flaws, so that you're not introducing vulnerabilities into production. Do you have any such tooling that you're using to be proactive about making sure that you're looking after the security from a product standpoint? And also then looking at if they have personally identifiable information, because then the stakes become higher, and the controls that you want to prevent, compromise of PII, and if it should be stored in that product, those stakes become higher, and then scrutiny becomes higher.
With that, Annie, My final question to you. We have worked collaboratively on M&A deals in the past. At a high level, could you explain how you have supported the M&A team to prepare their clients ahead of tech and product diligence sessions with the potential buyers?
Increasingly, we are now being pulled in by the M&A team to help coach and ready companies from a sell side perspective related to their sale process. Definitely an area we're supporting the M&A team to really work closely with them and the clients to think about what product or tech questions from a buyer perspective are they going to get, how do they need to get ready, where are their gaps, documentation and QA and all of that stuff we talked about earlier, the kinds of things that get flagged. So how do we get them ready ahead of the diligence process?
Thank you for being here, Annie. Appreciate you joining us and sharing your insights.
Thanks for having me, Sid. It's a pleasure as always.
Making sure that your company is well prepared for both product and tech diligence is extremely important for deal success. As buyers increasingly focus on robustness of IP to determine value of your tech business, it is critical that clients work closely with their M&A advisors to assess how to best present and stage gate information related to both their product and tech to ensure best value for their business.